Instagram. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Facebook. So glad I could take time out of my day to be with you. I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to even be able to do that. Got some water, my Warrior King cup with my Warrior King shirt. Pretty cool. Heck yeah. And so just glad to be with you guys today. Today, we're going to be talking about copywriting, kind of part two of copywriting, and kind of review a little bit of what we talked about last week. Last week, we talked about with copywriting, we talked about basically that copywriting is how to sell using the power of words, and that, selling is not a negative word. Instead of framing selling as something that's dirty or sliming, selling is really solving problems and serving people. If you reframe that to solving problems and serving people, then you have a lot of pride in what you do. When you can create a solution to a problem, you can help people out. That's how you really connect with people and solve problems and serve people. We talked a little bit about copy last week, guys, at the very copy 101. We talked a lot about copy is empathizing with our potential client. It's connecting with them on an emotional level, that we're not just somebody that's trying to do a transaction with them. We're trying to be an expert, or however we're going to fulfill their needs. We're trying to do that from a place of empathy, a place of understanding, a place of trying to really connect with them emotionally. And sales and relationships, when you build off of those, you've got to build off of it from a place of empathy, from a place of emotional intelligence, from a place of really trying to understand from their perspective what they're going through. What are those pain points? What are the things that they're dealing with that you can help solve those problems, right? So that's the basics of copywriting, in my opinion. And over the years, what I've realized is I'm not really in the business of building websites, right? Even though I do website design, sales funnels, Google ads, I've done mobile apps, copywriting, a bunch of different things. I'm actually in the business of understanding the psychology of what makes people move, what makes people take action, and then encouraging and helping business owners figure out how to do that in their business. It just happens to be that in my business, I do that from a place of digital, right? Digital presence. So if you're watching today, an hour later, and you're just, you're a business owner, you're trying to get more gigs, trying to get more sales, and you're just trying to figure that part out. Today is a great day. I'm going to help you guys, teach you guys some skills about the number one skill that makes the most amount of money of all skills. That is called copywriting. Copywriting happens to be one of those things that very few people practice and use, but yet people are using it. The strategies and tactics, they're trying to communicate through professional copywriting formulas that have been around for 100 years, let's say, or 50 years. I mean, a lot of time. It definitely since television. And you probably don't realize it, but those formulaic copywriting formulas and processes are being used, not against you, but I guess that's the word, used against you, not against you, but used towards you to try to connect with you emotionally. And some people see copywriting. We can also talk about motives. We did talk about last week about motives, right? Like, you can do copywriting and manipulate people, but you can also do copywriting and try to really connect with people. At the end of the day, when you're in business, when you're trying to get a sale, or you're trying to get somebody to do a transaction with you, to start a relationship with you, to gain business from you, you're the only one that knows on the inside of your heart if you're doing it out of manipulation and control, or are you doing it out of pride to help this person. You're trying to make a difference in their world. You're trying to really, help them grow in their business. If you're trying to serve and solve problems, then copywriting is definitely a good thing. If you're trying to manipulate people and try to use psychology against them to get what you want, that's not the right thing. That's not what I'm talking about today. So, but in part two, actually, let me go back to part one. We talked about the top 10 things, that's 9 or 10 things of why people buy anything, what motivates them. And we're going to repeat the top 5. The top 5, in my opinion, of why people buy anything. If you're watching this and you want to buy something or you have bought something in the past, here's 5 reasons. This is the psychology of human being of why they buy something, a product or service. Number 1, it's to make more money. Number 2, it's to save money. Number 3, it's to save time. Number 4, it's to avoid discomfort, like avoid pain. And number 5, it's increased social status, right? Those 5 things are the key top 5 things, in my opinion, of why people buy something. Make money, save time, avoid pain, and increase social status. I talked about last week, why do you buy a car, right? Why do you buy a cool car? Why is a sexy car so cool, right? Like, why do you want a car? Because when you pull up next to somebody, or you're pulling up to somebody and they have a nicer car than yours, don't you kind of be like, oh yeah, they got a pretty nice car. So you have this kind of tug of war inside where it's like you want to increase social status. The flip side of that is when somebody says, oh, well, I don't need a nice car. I don't want to be like those people. They're snooty. So I'm just going to go ahead and have my, broke down car or whatever, because I don't want these people, my groups of friends, to think I'm XYZ. Well, that's the same thing. It's still increased social status. You're wanting to increase social status with your community, with your group of friends, the people that are influencing. So you can have increased social status on both sides of that coin, right? So that's what we talked about last week. This week, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to write headlines that arrest attention and stop the scroll. How to write headlines that arrest attention and stop the scroll. By the way, if you want to connect with me, you guys call or text me. Here's my number. It's right here live. I'm not hiding. Call me, text me. If you need help, you want to jump on a call, I can help you with your business. Let's do it. So we're going to talk today about how to write headlines that arrest attention and stop the scroll. So behind here, I wrote down a few things. So today's goal, we want to learn how to arrest their attention and stop the scroll. Headlines, guys, when we're building websites, or we're building landing pages, or we're building even print material, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they throw a bunch of copy, a bunch of language, an encyclopedia of information on there, and they confuse their customer, right? The customer is coming for very specific things. And guys, I don't know about you guys, I don't like to read a lot. I barely like to watch videos a lot, right? I mean, the videos that I'm watching these days are stories, they're reels, they're like 30 to like maybe 90 seconds. That's it. Like our attention is so short and so small. Well, you can capture attention through headlines, right? Headlines are a great way for you to really capture the attention, arrest that attention of somebody, and help them to, and stop the scroll so they can, see what you have that you're trying to communicate about, right? So headlines are so important. And so if you're building your website, or if you're trying to make your website builder, stop trying to make your website better. Stop putting so much text on your website. Keep it really simple, like really, really simple. Like we always, as small business owners, which is like makes up almost the majority of businesses as small business owners. It's not big business. Yet we go to big business and we look at them and we're like, oh, well, they have this big site and we want to look like these big businesses, and they've got these Facebook ads running and they got these Google ads running and they got this SEO running. Guys, I've come to the conclusion after 13 years of running a marketing agency, most of you guys watching, you're not ready for ads. You're barely converting organic traffic coming to your website. Why on earth would you spending money on ads to increase lead generation when you already have leads coming to your website, but you haven't fixed the leaky bucket? You don't have the right systems deployed in your business, online, in your website, for you to really maximize and what they say, optimize for more conversions. That's where companies like mine come into place, right? I have what I call a core 4 business growth system, and I deploy 4 systems in a person's business. This happens to be one of my top tier product, right? I deploy these 4 systems in their business, and I help them capture and nurture their client, the potential client that's already coming to their website, the traffic that's already coming there. Like, you don't need to run ads. You can do a lot of organic. You can do DMs through Instagram and Facebook. You can do email marketing, which is a big one that people just don't do, right? And I've been at fault for not doing some of these over the years. I mean, 13 years ago when I started my business, I mean, I was just growing. I couldn't keep up with the growth, right? But I learned over the years, and now even post pandemic, how important things are. The space is even more competitive now than it's ever been. So you need to have systems in place in your business. Don't worry about ads. Don't worry about Facebook ads and Google ads and things right now, because you're probably not ready for them, right? Now, that being said, I do have small business owners and I do have nonprofits that run ads through with my company, and they get great results on the things that we're doing. Their case is a little bit different than a lot of other people. So I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying that most of the time when I'm working with a client, we're running ads for them, and their expectation of what they're going to get is just not realistic. They're like, oh, if I put $100 in, I'm going to get 100 leads. Not really, right? Leads are more expensive now than they've ever been. And so to advocate for my client, I want you guys to be successful. And the things that I'm going to teach you today, these are the things that are going to make you the most successful in your business. It's copywriting, right? So we talked a little bit about the psychology last week. This week, we're going to talk about headlines, how to arrest the attention of our potential client, and how we're going to stop the scroll. Okay. So words make worlds. So I wrote down some words here, or wrote down some things here for you guys to know. Words make worlds. When we use words, we create worlds. When I started this online Warrior Wednesday live thing that I'm doing, and I love being here with you guys, I'm sharing a lot of words, and I'm creating a world where people can come and listen to marketing advice that they're probably not hearing anywhere, and they're not getting, and people will charge a lot of money for them to do it. I'm doing it because I love my community. I want to serve people. I want to help them solve problems, real problems in their business, right? So words make worlds. You create the kind of world that you want to live in by the words that we use, right? Next thing, words pick locks. Everybody has a lock on their heart. They have a lock on their mind. You know, they're very protective. They're trying to keep things safe inside. They don't want to be scammed. They don't want to work with scumbags, like all these types of things. So people have locks on their heart and their emotional well-being when they're dealing with people in business that, different mediums. But words pick locks. Have you ever read a headline and you're like, wow, that really connected with me, and it did something to you emotionally? It made you want to buy, Apple's great at this. So you guys, I bet you most of you guys watching, you have an iPhone, right? Or an Apple product like a MacBook Pro. Apple is great at headlines. They're great at painting pictures that connect with their client emotionally, right? They pick the lock. Words pick locks, right? The last one is words open doors. Words open doors. Have you ever asked somebody out on a date before? Guys, how are you going to ask somebody on a date? You use words. Hey, you know what? I really have enjoyed, you're really attracted to me. I'd like to know if you like to go out for a drink or go out for dinner, go get coffee, whatever, however the words you use. Words, they create opportunity. And so we got to learn how to communicate better with people that are around us. One of the things that, and I've talked about on the channel going through my divorces stuff, one of the things that divorce really helped me with is I already thought I was a very empathetic person. And I learned a lot of empathetic statements, but I studied it even more going through divorce. Like on the back end of it, one of the things I did some studying around narcissism. I did some studying around empathy. I did studying around gaslighting. I did studying around just abusive relationships. And all of us have been, victims to abuse and abusive relationships. And by the way, it's not just men that abuse in relationships. It's also women. Women can also be abusive in relationships. And this is kind of a side thing. Have you ever heard the phrase, and this is just my opinion, and I might lose followers over it, but I don't even give a care. Have you ever heard the phrase, a happy wife is a happy life? A happy wife is a happy life. I'm sorry, but that's one of the biggest BS things I've ever heard in my effing life. You know what's a happy life is when a happy couple is a happy life. A happy life is a happy couple. Now, somebody might say, oh, well, you haven't learned this and you went through a divorce and blah, 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 blah. Guys, if you have to always try to make your wife happy and that's going to make your life better somehow or whatever, something's not right with your relationship. A relationship's about two people. It's not a happy wife makes a happy life. It's a happy couple makes a happy life. It's we're both all in trying to serve each other and make our relationship work and serve the world, because together we're better together than we are alone. And some people may disagree with me, and that's cool if you disagree with me, because I disagree with you, right? I know from first-hand experience, trying to please somebody that is not already happy or wants to be happy, they will never be happy. You are responsible for your own mental health. You're responsible for your own personal growth. You cannot expect somebody else to be responsible for that, right? So words are important, right? Words are open doors. We're talking about copywriting. So I want to share with you guys a framework that I use when I'm writing headlines. And I wrote a couple headlines down here that I want you guys to see. Now, I'm not talking about politics today, but I do want to use President Trump's, his MAGA headline, right? Make America Great Again. Make America Great Again. That was, in my opinion, one of the best campaign slogans of all time. By the way, on the other side of the aisle, President Obama at the time had one of the best headlines for any campaign that I had ever heard, right? Politics, they do have good headlines. So they're probably hiring copywriters, right? Make America Great Again, regardless of what your beliefs are around that, is one of the best, in my opinion, marketing headlines ever written in politics, right? And I'll unpack it here in a minute. Then the other headline is one that I created for a new client, a roofing client that I have, and I'm actually going to be showcasing his website tomorrow. So, Rick, if you're watching today, so excited for you tomorrow. Jump on a call tomorrow. We're going to walk through your new sales page that we created for you. And I mean, we're building stuff for Rick. He's a commercial roofer in Dayton, Ohio. We are building some like really cool stuff for him, like the whole marketing system that I built. But I wrote a headline for him. I was working on a headline and some copy for him. And one of the things I came up with was fix the leak above your head. Fix the leak above your head. Phrases like make America great again, fix the leak above your head. These are copywritten headlines that are very strategic, that are not only communicating with my client, they're doing a few things. So I want to break it down for you guys so you can understand. And then I'll give you guys a small exercise that you can do so you can practice writing copywriting. By the way, copywriting is one of those things that you have to practice and get better at. There's people that are way better at it than me. I mean, I referenced some books I share with you guys. You should get this one, How to Write Copy That Sells. Copywriting Secrets by Jim Edwards. This one's Ray Edwards. I love Story Brand is one of my favorites too. And this is one I reference a lot, Marketing Made Simple by Donald Miller. Guys, these books are fantastic resources. I mean, every person in business should be reading these books. And before you're like, oh, that's really, really simple stuff, Jay. Yeah, it is simple stuff. And we've overcomplicated things too much. We don't need to overcomplicate stuff, especially when it comes to copy. Go get these books. Copywriting Secrets by Jim Edwards. How to Write Copy That Sells by Ray Edwards. Well, yeah, they're the best same last name. And Donald Miller, Marketing Made Simple. These are great books, guys, resources. And you can actually see right over here on my side, I got books on top of books. Some of those are from Bible school, but a lot of those are marketing books, psychology books and things, because I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to get better at copy. So let me give you guys a framework that you guys can use to write a better headline. And you can practice this at business, at home, when you're writing a presentation, your resume. Like, this works for anything, right? Okay, so whenever we're trying to create a headline, we always want to think first of the problem. What is the pain point? What is the problem? If we want to arrest somebody's attention and we want to stop the scroll, one of the main things that people connect with is pain, right? Change happens when the pain of the same is greater than the pain of change. Let me say that one more time. Change happens when the pain of the same is greater than the pain of change. If somebody is constantly in pain on a certain issue, could be their body, could be their finances, it could be their health, it could be, I mean, there's lots of things. If they keep having pain and their pain is not being fixed, it's going to arrest their attention. If you can communicate that person's pain point, you're going to arrest their attention, right? So when you're writing a headline, you want to think about and start with the problem. What is the problem that I'm solving, that my client is a question they're asking in their head, something they're feeling, maybe something that's on the outside affecting them? Think about the pain. What's the pain that they're going through, right? That's a great place to start when you're writing the headline. Number two, you also want to think about the solution. So you think about the pain, but you're also thinking about the solution, right? So when you're writing a headline, you're thinking about the problem first, thinking about the solution, and the last part of it is the result, the outcome, the transformation, the result. So if you focus on the problem, the solution, and the problem plus the solution, if those worlds meet, what's the outcome, the transformation, or result that happens? That is how you write a great headline. By the way, I try to practice writing headlines that are literally 3 to 5 words. Like, I try not to make too big of headlines. Sometimes you have to write headlines that are bigger, but one of the ways that you can practice writing better copy is how to communicate their problem, their solution, and the outcome that they're going to experience in 3 to 5 words. If you can do that and practice that, you're going to get better at writing headlines and writing copy that connects with people quickly. People are busy. Their attention is small. So if you can arrest their attention and stop the scroll quickly, you've got them, right? Take a drink. So using this formula, make America great again. Make America great again is assuming that there's a problem. Without actually saying there's a problem, President Trump at that time was communicating that there is a problem that people know about. Subconsciously, maybe it's not on their radar, maybe it is on their radar. Make America great again. From what? Make America great again from what? He was communicating that we're not currently at that time where we used to be, right? And there's lots of opinions around that. I'm not going to get into those opinions and those viewpoints. But he did communicate vision. Here's a problem, make America great again, assuming that something's not right. But he also made a solution, make America great again, right? So he stated a problem and a solution and a result in one headline, which is actually really, really, and again, in my opinion, is one of the most brilliant headlines ever made for politics. Make America great again. It talks about a problem, it talks about a solution, and it talks about a result. It had all 3 of those elements in the headline. Here's one that I wrote for my client. Fix the leak above your head. I'm communicating in a headline, and that happens to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 words. Make America great again, that's 4 words. Fix the leak above your head. I'm communicating a problem, I'm communicating a solution, and I'm communicating an outcome. Fix the leak above your head, right? So I'm relating it to there's a leak, but we're going to fix the leak, and it's above your head, right? So I'm using words to explain. I'm arresting attention, right? I'm arresting attention. I'm stopping the scroll. If a commercial owner of a building, a commercial building owner, has a leaky roof and they see that headline, fix the leak above your head, maybe their tenants are upset because they're losing business because there's drips inside, where they're, they're one of their tenants is leasing a part of their building or the whole building and there are leaks. That's affecting the tenant, right? And so if the tenant's upset, they're contacting the landlord or the commercial owner, building owner, and they're like, "Hey, we got a leaky roof." That's going to stop the scroll of the person looking for that service. So I go on Google and I run a Google ad, fix the leak above your head. I'm communicating, if I'm targeting a commercial property owner, I'm communicating a pain point that they're currently experiencing. Not only is their tenant experiencing, they're experiencing. So fix the leak above your head. I'm communicating a problem, communicating a solution, and the outcome of what they're going to have in the end. This is how you write really, really, really good headlines. Another one, I wrote this down. It's actually the headline of mine, and it's actually a lot longer than 6 words. But how to write headlines that arrest attention and stop the scroll. When I wrote that headline for you guys, I wrote that because I knew you would be watching and that would arrest your attention. I mean, I see 2 people right now on Facebook or YouTube watching. You're watching probably because you saw the headline or because you know me or you've seen other past things. That's the point. The point is I'm arresting somebody's attention and I'm helping them stop the scroll and I'm adding value. I'm serving, I'm solving problems. I'm helping them raising awareness, and I want to help that. If you're watching this video and if you want to leave a comment on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, if there's a question that you want answered or strategy I can share, I want to share that with you guys. We're about 27 minutes in. Again, if there's something I could do to help, call me, text me. I want to help. I want to help your business. If you're a business owner, there's my phone number. Call me, text me. I'd be happy to help you guys and all of that. If you want to connect with me on my marketing agency, you can go straight to warriorkingsociety.com. There's 2 different things you can do. 2 action items you can do. Number 1, you can go on my website and you can join our free Facebook group. It's a business network meetup group. I'd love for you to join that. Come, it's free. Join that Facebook group. We're adding value to that, and I'm hoping sometime in the fall to launch an in-person local meetup, a Warrior Business Network meetup, and start that in my city. Secondly, if you want to connect with me, I would love to do an audit at where you're at in your business. If you want to have a conversation, you want to talk, I can help you do that. Just go to Warrior King Society and you can click a button there and we can book a strategy call. And then the last thing I want to share with you guys is if you're looking for a great place that you can make a donation, that you can really serve people. Have you guys checked out yet the Driven Foundation, staydriven.org? My good buddy for a long time, Roy Hall, he feeds and helps families in need. He's right here in Columbus, Ohio. Very popular guy, very cool guy. Used to play for Ohio State, used to play in the NFL. He's a wide receiver. The guy is just solid. He's got a really cool thing going. The Driven Foundation is a great place for you to make a difference and add some value. Guys, even if it's just $1 or $5 or $10, like, sometimes the smallest things are the biggest deal, right? Like if you go and buy a cup of coffee for somebody, isn't that just make your day when somebody buys you a cup of coffee? Guys, if I was going through McDonald's drive-through and somebody just bought me a cheeseburger, I mean, I'd be like, wow, this is like just the small things, right? Small things make a big deal. And yet we don't really focus on the small things very often, do we? It's like we just don't. So, guys, so that's it for today, guys. Thanks for your time today. So glad you guys could be a part of this call. Next week, we're going to be talking about headlines and bullet points and things like that. We're going to continue to write our copy together. Oh, I forgot. I should give you the exercise. So the exercise, try to go write some headlines on your own. Like just do one headline for today. Like what's one headline? Like you can improve your business today and position your business in the marketplace to be one level up, 1% better today by doing this exercise. And the exercise is very simple. I want you to rewrite the phrase for your business. You can put on your business card, email signature, whatever you want to do. Think of a problem, solution, and an outcome when you're writing a headline. Fix the leak above your head. How would you describe your business? How you are, connecting with them on a pain point, solving a problem, with a solution, and then last one is, whoops, I'll step out of the way. Is the result? How is that result going to help them? Practice writing those headlines, right? Be better at copy. Be better at that, because copy, if you're in business, you have to sell constantly. Why not get better at using words? Why not get better at communicating, right? And it's a progress. It's not going to happen overnight, but the more you practice, the more you get better. All right, guys. God bless you guys. I love you guys. Until next time, we will see you on the other posts. And thanks for being part of this video stream today. And God bless you guys. Have a great day.